But the first step is to run away, is to say, you know, every time in the past that I've encountered this irritating person or this harmful person, I've responded back in kind. Every single time. And I'm just going to stop this cycle. I'm just going to get out of the situation now. And there's always a, there's always a way to do this. You know, you can always just, sort of spill your coffee cup and say, oops, oh, sorry, I gotta go clean up the coffee. Or you can, call in sick if you think like, somebody's gonna be there. You can call and say, I don't have the wherewithal to deal with it, Or you can always use the magic words. Magic words of power. The magic words of power of how to get out of a difficult situation that you're not really prepared to do the right thing in. You can always say, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. And no irritating person is ever going to say, no, you can't. You're a grown-up now, and nobody wants any accidents here, and so they can say, okay. And then you go to the bathroom, and you get control of yourself, you see? And you do have to go to the bathroom, actually. Somebody once said, like, isn't that lying? Lama Marut, that's lying. Well, it's actually not. You do have to go to the bathroom, because you can't handle the situation. Plus, there's always something to do in the bathroom. You comb your hair a little bit, run your lipstick, a little pee-pee, always something. All right, that's step number one. And then you go home and you start to work out in the spiritual gym. You start to build some muscles when it comes to understanding how things are working, causality, and doing the right thing to work the system better. And you start to build some muscle. You think about over and over again, like, well, what was the cause of that? What was being irritating back? Well, I can't be irritating back, so but I can't run away from it forever either, because that isn't going to actually solve it. Have you noticed that too? Like, you have an irritating person in Rockport maybe, and you say, oh, I know, I'll move to Gloucester. And then I won't have any irritating people anymore. And, you get out of the car, and you unpack the U-Haul, and there they are again. They kind of maybe look different, and they have different clothes on, or they have different gender, or something like that, but they're still irritating. They're irritating in Gloucester. So you can't just run away forever. So the second step is after some practice, through the meditating, contemplating, study, practice. Second step is when they start doing their irritating shtick, when they start doing the thing that really bothers you, you just take it. You assume a very, very difficult yogic position. I know Christina's teaching very difficult yoga positions in the morning, but I have invented a yoga asana, a yoga position, that's even more difficult than any one that she can teach you probably. And it's called Mukha, say Mukha, Bandha Asana. So the irritating person is being irritated. He says, excuse me, I have to do, I'm a yogi, I'm a yogini, I practice yoga. I have to get into a yoga position now. Mukha means mouth. Bandha means you shut it. Mukha Bandha Asana. And you keep it shut. And inside your head, a riot is going on. Okay, inside your head, you're thinking of all the four-letter words that you can possibly think of to describe who you think this person is. But nothing comes out of your mouth because you've assumed Mukha Bandha Asana. And if you need some help, maybe I think Christina's probably assisting people, adjusting. And you can get assisted Mukha Bandha Asana, assisted Mukha Bandha Asana. It goes like this. Or if you're an Iyengar practitioner, you could probably bring some, bands, some props. Bring some props. Yeah. Prop up a little bit. All right, that's step number 3. Step number 3 is the final one. Okay, and this is a process. This takes time. It takes time. You have to work at this. It takes time. I didn't speak to my father for 5 years. I was so pissed off at him. And so I did the runaway thing for 5 years, and then the Mukha Bandha thing for a long time too, and then after that kind of practice, you get to number 3 after a long period of practice. And number 3 is when the person formerly known as an irritating person starts doing their formerly known as irritating thing, you aren't irritated by it. And then all of a sudden, guess what just disappeared? You just disappeared an irritating person, because if you're not irritated by an irritating person, they're not an irritating person. Okay? And the way to get there actually is to love them. And to say, you know, I remember when I used to feel like you must be feeling now. Because irritating people aren't happy people. They're not happy. They're not living happy lives. I remember when I used to feel as unhappy as you do now, because I was irritated and irritating also. And it's not a pleasant way to feel. I remember how that felt, and it's not a pleasant way, and I feel sorry that you feel that way now. What could I do to help you stop feeling this way? See? Game over. Game over with one irritating person. Next! Then you go to next. All right, so the principle here is that we have to be very, if we want to avoid suffering, we have to be very, very careful about the causes of suffering. What causes our suffering? And walk through life carefully. It is possible to achieve the third, what Buddha was talking about was the third Arya truth. First Arya truth was what? Life is suffering. Second, there's a cause to suffering. The third is, if you stop the causes, there's an alternative to suffering. You see? There's an alternative. It doesn't have to be this way. You can stop suffering and live a happy life. And number 4 is, you gotta learn how. You gotta learn a method. And the method is to, kind of do the same kinds of things that I was talking about just now. Of learning how to love people instead of hating them. Learning how to stop recreating the causes for more of your own pain.